Today we have Dr. Prathamesh Pai, the writer and director of award-winning short film Afsos. We also have the producer of the film, Dr. Swapnil Sarmukaddam. The film focuses on the rising issue of violence against doctors and is supported by Maharashtra Association of Resident Doctors. It received rave reviews from the audience and has also won multiple awards at film festivals. Thank you, Dr. Prathamesh and Dr. Swapnil, for the interview. So can you tell us something about yourself and something more about your background?
Sure. My name is Dr. Prathamesh Pai. I graduated from Dr. D.Y. Patil School of Medicine last year. Currently, I am preparing for my United States postgraduate medical licensure exam.
Dr. Swapnil?
I'm Dr. Swapnil Sarmukaddam. I did my PG MD Pathology with gold medal from D.Y. Patil School of Medicine. And after that, I did my fellowship in Europath from KM Hospital. Right now, I am working as a lab head in SRL Diagnostics Parel.
So, like, to begin with, I would want to know that what inspired Afsos? What was the driving force behind it?
Sure. Our objective was to highlight the growing menace, that is the unwarranted violence against doctors, to kind of compel the community to come together, look at ways and means to curb this practice. Also to ensure widespread awareness, to generate a momentum and public outcry against this malicious practice.
Dr. Swapnil, my question would be, what is your take in the increasing incidence of violence against the doctors?
Actually, this is a very ridiculous thing which is happening, and there have been more than 75% of the doctors have been facing this issue in one way or the other. Most of the cases have not been even reported. And the thing is, the society should be made aware of the fact that what the doctor goes through right from his entrance days from 12th, then 4.5 years of medicine, then 1 year of internship, then further 3 years or 4 years of post PG, and what exactly is giving his time and all those things. So the society should understand and be considerate about a doctor as such.
Yes, I think awareness would play a large role in, curbing the violence that the doctors face. And do you think Docplexus, being a largest community of doctors, can play a role in spreading awareness against violence?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think you just mentioned Docplexus is, I think, your mission has been to empower doctors, the value proposition, as I read the other day, has been to connect the doctors in the rural community, with those in the metros, of course, the super specialists in the metros. So I think that's just excellent. You have a common forum, through which all of us, the entire community, as I mentioned earlier, we can connect on a common platform, highlight this issue, and again kind of do everything we can from our end to make sure that this doesn't happen.
So my next question would be to Dr. Swapnil. Being a resident doctor, have you ever witnessed or faced any incident of violence or aggressiveness from a patient?
Actually, I did my MD in pathology, which is a non-clinical branch, and I didn't get much to interact with the patients in wards, etc. But yes, my colleagues and friends have genuinely gone through this.
So, what according to you are the main reasons that are responsible for violence against the doctors?
I think one of the most important reasons is lack of communication. See, most of these incidents which happen, they tend to occur in the casualties. That's where the hostilities flare up, and that becomes the flashpoint. So I think lack of communication between the doctor and the patient's relatives who are already in a state of panic, and I think that's quite natural. When your loved one is in distress, of course, it's quite natural for your relative to be distressed. So communication, and then again something to do, something to strengthen the doctor-patient relationship. Of course, I think these measures, if you take adequately, first of all, this is a cause why it happens, the lack of trust and communication, as I mentioned. So yeah, ways to tackle these issues, of course, will solve the problem.
Do you think money is also one of the reasons behind it?
In a private hospital, of course, if you see, I think that should be a problem. But in a government or any other setup, okay. Money is not an issue because most of the services that are being rendered are for free. So I think it's quite possible that the reasons that I mentioned could possibly be responsible for the violence against doctors.
And most of the violence incidents have been happening in municipal corporation hospitals and government setups. So I don't think money should be an issue over there.
What do you think the role the media plays in the present scenario where there is a growing trend of aggressiveness against the doctors?
Media has got a very important role to play. Social media, of course, as we all know, is has become the primary mode, okay, through which you connect with people. And I think both sides of the story, of course, if they've been, if they are adequately expressed on media, I think that will be, very important and, of course, significant to raise this issue, to create awareness. And, of course, that's the way forward. Yeah.
And apart from awareness, do you think there are any other ways in which we can, try to prevent the violence against the doctors or try to spread the message in the organization itself?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you need strict laws. I mean, that's one of the most important things, okay? Awareness is one part of it. That is something that we can do from our end. But I think strict laws, and of course, there was recently, I also want to mention that there was a bill which was passed in the parliament, okay? And that has made violence against doctors a cognizable and non-bailable offense. I think that's a great move by the government. Strict laws, and of course, when the authorities are also, kind of helping you out. I think both patients and the doctors need to understand for their well-being, okay, that violence, of course, is doing no good, and ultimately it has to stop,
So my next question would be to Dr. Swapnil. As Dr. Prathamesh rightly mentioned that there was a bill presented at Lok Sabha to prevent violence against the doctors and medical facilities. So what is your take on it?
Yes, this bill was passed by Dr. Shrikant Shinde. He is a member of parliament from Kalyan Lok Sabha. He is a very good friend of mine. This is genuinely a very good initiative which has been taken, and I think it should work.
Lastly, I would request Dr. Prathamesh and Dr. Swapnil to give a take-home message to our viewers.
The take-home would be that, the primary reason why we started this and why we made the film was to create awareness, as I mentioned. So I think, our efforts, of course, have been directed at this cause which has been affecting this noble profession of ours. And I really would appreciate, all the viewers of Docplexus, as well as whoever is viewing this interview from world over, okay, to, of course, ensure that from your end, you spread the message, okay, make sure that such incidents, of course, whenever they happen, you take cognizance of it and you personally take some measures, kind of to make sure that this doesn't happen. It becomes a mass phenomena, some public outcry is raised, of course, that is when such incidents will stop.
Dr. Swapnil.
And the society should also be made aware of the fact of the limitations of the medical field, and so that they don't expect miracles to happen.
So thank you Dr. Prathamesh and Dr. Swapnil for your time.
Thank you.